Hello, Bachelino here. As always, if you want, you can subscribe or like the video to help me. And then now let's begin with the video itself. This one will be more or less about some mechanics that affect us as a rogue player. I'm going to talk about the great ball changes, the upgrade system changes, and something kind of not that important, but it's kind of cool. Now you can change talents without wrangling the whole tree if you change one of the upper ones. It's kind of good for people that don't like to have lots of different setups and just want to change one or two talents. This will be good because at least for ability and assassination, you can go from kind of cliff or single target talents, just changing two or three. And if you play the three specs, it's likely that you have run out even more if you play PvP also or dungeons of your slots. You have 10 in total. Then, of course, if you don't have one, you just have to get yours and put that. So I'm going to explain that first in 1 second. As you can see here, in the reform things, it gets like as red, and then you can just change it really easily. Now, for example, if I put my talents, I have here, and for example, if I took out Shadow Focus, see, I don't have enough to go to the next gate. So now I have to choose which one I want to put instead of that one. But I still get my other choices without any problems. And the same thing, if I take out without a trace, I don't have enough to go down, and by that means I have enough to keep getting the points from Secret Technique downwards. And the same thing if I for example take Fade to Nothing or Criminal Bond, is the same thing. Really cool, really like it. I don't really want to have lots of builds. Just for example, you have the red one, and then just if you for example want to take inevitability or take out Weapon Master because you have lots of cliff and are not going to use your backstab a lot, just take it out. And now you can just put instead, for example, Plan Execution or Tornado if you want to replicate in Shadows. Cool, good change. We like it. Now, for other things, as you know, there is now about a great ball change. This affects us too because sometimes you want to do heroic or something like that, and it's 7. And the top ones, like now the first one begins at 2 instead of 3. And now, of course, with this change, it's going to be way easier. Now with 2, 4, and 7, getting the two first choices with the easier bosses. If you have alts or things like that and don't want to spend a lot of time raiding, you can just go and get 4. It's really easy. Core 7 is still almost all of the raid, but if you really want that last choice, you can just kill some bosses. I mean, most of them drop good loot now that you have this way to upgrade the gear. So even in heroic or normal, you may get some interesting things from them. Now the upgrade system is going to change a little bit. The tracks are longer and you also get less crests, but there's a really good change, and this will help a lot of people because now if you have all of the slots with higher eye level gear, for example, if you have right now at this time in life everything more than 420 to 4, you can change crests 1 level higher. You know, there was a vendor to change them 1 level lower, but now you can also do 1 level higher. This will be really good for lots of people because at least at the beginning of the tier we had lots of looking for raid ones that were completely useless, lots of normal that were kind of useless. Sometimes you use them for crafted things or for alts or whatever. Then the heroic ones that were really useful, and you didn't have any like for 2 or 3 weeks because you were upgrading everything from Mythic Plus because it was already on the hero track. Remember, you wanted to do 17s to get them on the hero track, and then upgrade them if you wanted. Of course, for peak completion, you were doing 19s or 20s to get a little one to waste one less crest, but most of us didn't have that level of gameplay. In this case, now you can get, if you have everything at this normal high level gear, like if you did Mythic Plus fully and got all of your hero track gear, that's what you kind of want to do, of course. You will be able to use your normal crests and upgrade them to heroic ones and use those instead. Really good for specs and things like that. For example, if you want to play Subtlety and Outlaw and Assassination, you may need different jewelry. In this case, because of stats, it's not going to be a huge issue, but a welcome one. And of course, the aspect crests when everything is heroic and you are using those aspect crests to craft your embellishment items and to also upgrade your mythic items if you get them dropped in raid or in the vault. You are going to want at least everything on your hero track. That means you can use now the crests, that Wyrm crest or whatever, the heroic ones. So you say heroic, it's really easier in my case, and upgrade them to aspect ones and use those. Really good change, and that was kind of the change just that I wanted to talk about. And of course, now that tracks are longer, you will use more of them, but also for the mythic, in this case bow choice, now the 20 instead of being a mythic 1 is mythic 2. Kind of a good one change. But now you need to do at least an 18 instead of a 16 to get a mythic track item. Now those will be hero 46 and then cap at 483 instead of 489. That is the mythic track. And that will be everything for kind of this gearing and other things. There will be also some testing going on this Thursday, Friday, blah, blah, lots of days. I will be posting videos more or less for a rogue POB. I'm not going to be playing in those because I don't really have people to play with. It is what it is. I'm also kind of busy. But I will be talking with people that do those testings. I know them on Discord and I will just ask and kind of be, what is your opinion, kind of. I will try to get different specs opinions too, because some people will try Subtlety, other people will try Outlaw, Assassination, and see how they think are those bosses. Of course, they can change anyway, but something to talk about is always good. Now I will see you in the next video.